So what's happening? I've been trying to find a permanent solution to the oscillation problem with the IIC Plus reissue, and I'm proud to say we have it. I went through and tried a lot of things, but before I go into details, I just want to say that Mesa have been continuously dropping the ball with this reissue. As people started emailing them wanting the problem to be fixed, Mesa kept saying that there is no problem and the originals also oscillated, and this was a normal behavior with high gain, which, as most of us should know by now, this is not true. Secondly, after I showed the temporary fix where you can unplug the reverb tank, watch the video here, they changed their story saying that they know about the issue and can fix it, but it would change how the amp sounds, and that they opted to keep the original sound. As I showed you in my analysis video, they added a bunch of snubber caps to filter out high frequencies through the preamp and make it less prone to oscillation, but this also made the amp sound less aggressive than the original and obviously did not help with the oscillation. Their latest response makes me think that they don't know where the actual problem comes from, and they will just add more high frequency filtration through the amp to tame the high frequencies even further. I cannot be sure if that is what they are planning to do, but since they are saying the sound of the amp will change, this is the only thing that I can think of. Now, as we will see in this video, the issue is actually a ground loop that can be fixed pretty easily and has nothing to do with the amount of gain, treble or aggression in the preamp. The issue would have been negated right from jump if they spent a little bit more time during the prototype and the manufacturing process. And my only advice to whoever is in charge now, however arrogant that may sound coming from me, is just to be more open and transparent with your clientele. Admit you've made a mistake and don't change your story every time something new pops up. If I was in that situation and couldn't find the issue myself, I would have hired someone to inspect the amp, and when the problem is located, I would have just come clean and offered to fix the amp or put out a bulletin so techs can perform the fix like Mesa did back in the day. Not just reply with "this is normal" or "yes, we know about it, but it will change the amp if we fix it," or "if you do something, the warranty will be dropped." On one hand, the second response will deter people from wanting to fix the oscillation because they don't want a different sounding amp. And on the other hand, users will lose trust in your support and capabilities as an amp manufacturer. Mistakes can happen, so just be more open to the people that still have a passion for your products. You spent more on PR pushing that this is normal when you could have just spent that money on fixing the problem to begin with. I just hope that now that the solution is out there, you will correct the future production, offer to perform the fix to current owners, and you won't drop the warranty if people fix their amps themselves, because this is your mistake, not theirs. Now, with the rant over, let's quickly see what I've tried and finally what the actual fix is, and you're probably gonna laugh. I did a bunch of stuff and tried almost everything, including moving wires, changing shielding, looking for weird ground connections, optimizing the lead dress. I even tried moving the reverb transformer because even keeping my scope probe close to the socket or transformer wires, not touching the probe to anything, just hovering around that area, it showed a 3 kHz oscillation. Listen to this. As you can see in this footage, there is a ceramic snubber cap that rings, and at first I thought it was the culprit, but it's not the cause. Then I suspected this ceramic capacitor, which is a coupling cap out of the reverb circuit, going to the pot. As ceramic caps are sensitive to oscillation, I tested it with a fume cap like on the original, but that also did nothing for the oscillation. By the way, there's a pad that can accommodate a bigger fume cap if you decide to change the ceramic one. As you can see, I twisted the reverb wires going to the pot, the heater wires, and did some general wire management, but none of those things helped the oscillation, only lowered the overall noise floor of the amp a little bit. I even started rewiring the tone stack that includes the volume, treble, bass and middle pots, using the old school method, just because when I was looking for the source of the oscillation, moving the wire coming out of the treble pot feeding the volume pot, the pitch of the oscillation changed. And since I had similar issues with amps that the treble wiper wire was moved, I thought this could be it. It would definitely be better to rewire everything the old school way using bus wires and less parallel connections to the board, but I will keep it like this for now. And finally, I noticed that the grounding through the amp is pretty bad, and while I was looking for a way to optimize it, where the signal is grounded or the preamp is grounded, and where the high voltage nodes and the switching is grounded, I stumbled upon an issue where if you touch the reverb tank to the chassis of the amp, the oscillation will jump even more. And this reinforced my thoughts that there is a grounding issue and pointed to the reverb circuit itself. If we look at the way they did it from the factory, the reverb transformer is grounded here and the reverb tank is grounded here. This actually creates 2 points of grounding and a ground loop. In older models, the transformer and the reverb tank were grounded together through the jack and from there to the board, so a single ground point, or in other words, a local star ground. I won't bore you with further technical details, but just moving the black wire coming out of the reverb transformer to the same spot where the reverb return is grounded breaks that ground loop and should kill the oscillation. Proof is in the pudding, so let's see if this fixed the problem. Quick note, as many people confuse what actually an oscillation versus feedback is, we are concerned with the oscillation within the preamp itself and not the sensitivity to feedback between your guitar and the amp. So plug your guitar in the input of the amp, but roll the volume of the guitar to 0. This ensures we're listening only for the oscillation issue within the preamp and not feedback from your pickups. So here we go. I have a reverb tank plugged in, the same one used in the reissue. My guitar is plugged in but rolled down, and let's start it up and listen. Notice that everything is pulled, and volume, treble, lead, drive all on 10. So we should be getting a lot of oscillation if the problem isn't fixed, but let's see. We can listen for the reverb. Obviously it's working, but yeah, no oscillation whatsoever. We have reverb plugged in, all of the gain available to the amp, and no oscillation. Let's max out the lead master. Only now we have a little bit of oscillation, a lower one. Nobody's gonna play the amp with the lead master at 10. So with the settings I've seen people use, obviously we don't have any oscillation, and just to prove, we have the reverb available. So yeah, just move the black wire out of the transformer, the reverb transformer, to the jack, and that's it. So yeah, that's the fix, and obviously I'm not gonna leave it like this. I'm gonna tidy up everything and continue doing some stuff that we planned with Adrian, the owner. And I'm gonna probably do a bunch more videos before shipping the amp back to him. But yeah, hope this helps. See you in the next one, and happy chugging. Oh, and for Mesa, please do your job so assholes like me don't have to pull out their hair just to fix your amps.